most folks walking, driving? What happens?
There, I can tell you, Leland, first of all, thank you for having me. But second of all, no one is driving. That is something that is not allowed at all in this caravan. In 2019, we did see some people on tractors, on ATVs and carts and things like that. They are all on foot right now, and we are 5 days in, and they have only made 36 miles of progress. So you showed that map. A really, really long way to go to get to Mexico City still. And Mexico City is just that first kind of place that they're going to stop, like you mentioned, and then they're going to reconvene. But what they're trying to do in Mexico City is get this protection claim validated through a judge. And that's why they're not being stopped at all. They have been met one time with opposition from about 400 Mexican National Guard here. And these 5,000 plus migrants at that time basically barreled through 400 National Guard within seconds. Those folks were forced to just basically stand there, because if they violate this protection claim, it takes away their rights from them able to go and see a judge. So they are moving freely. Today, we walked right through a checkpoint. I'm going to tell you, it was one of the wildest things I've experienced. We went right through an immigration customs checkpoint with not a single law enforcement individual having one conversation with the migrant. They were actually there taking photos.
Wow, it's certainly a change from the time during the Trump administration when there was a lot of pressure put on Mexico to shut these caravans down. I'm interested in the politics of this, because we want to go back to the soundbite we played earlier in which you talked to Jonathan from Nigeria about the differences he felt between coming to America or trying to come to America under President Trump versus President Biden. Take a listen. We'll get your reaction.
You wouldn't have tried this journey. You would have submitted yourself to the Nigerian government under the Trump administration to kill you.
He will turn me back.
He would turn back.
Yeah, he will not allow me to enter.
And now you say Biden is a good man?
He's a good man.
And he's going to let you in?
Yeah, he listens to the pharmacists.
Is Jonathan unusual in feeling that way, or are there other folks who are talking about new president, new policies?
You know, when we first got here, when we first hit the ground in Tapachula, Leland, they were carrying a sign that says Joe Biden is for all. Several migrants that I talked to, they have that notion that that is what's going to happen, that they know. We asked them, we said, the borders are closed. They're not letting people in. They're turning people back. And they said, well, we think that Mr. Biden will change his mind by the time we get up there. They're saying they're going to be in Mexico City in about 20 days. So they're hoping, quote, Mr. Biden will change his mind because he's a good man and he'll let us in. Now, when I talk to people like Jonathan and talk to other people from West Africa, from Ghana, Nigeria, we're talking a lot of people from that area are who I'm communicating with, and also a lot of Venezuelans. Now, those people, a lot of them have that legitimate asylum claim that you were talking about. They're fleeing persecution. So those people tell me they are not worried at all about being turned back. They tell me that Mr. Biden is going to let them in because he is going to honor his promises that he campaigned on. If you have a valid claim of asylum, we'll hear you out and we'll listen. But I'm going to tell you this, Leland. This caravan here is very different than the Haitian one we saw come into Del Rio. This is right now, one of the leaders here, Luis Villagran, is telling us it's about 6,000. It's very heavy women and children. We have about 1,700 kids within this caravan, 63 pregnant women. This is what they're calling the March of the Children. So it is a very different caravan, and it is also majority of them are from Central America. So a lot of them have those economic claims. They just want to work here.
The caravan leader has a way of branding things, you might say. He's done this before. I only got about 30 seconds, Allie. You're doing such great reporting down there. Tell us sort of the difference of the attitude of this caravan. You know, we've gone from give us our tired and poor to it's our right to come to America and we're going to fight our way in. How'd that happen?
Yeah. You know, I think that honestly, it is what is being told to them. It is word of mouth for everybody. And a lot of these folks already have people in the States that are family members. So they're saying, hey, they got in, we can go in. And, you know, this is something that they're allowing right now. This is what they think is their legal path. I asked some of them, why not do it legally? And they were taken aback. They said, what do you mean? And they said we were called to do this. So it's a very different vibe and energy. But a lot of the people from West Africa, they're like, we're not going to get turned back. We have a legitimate claim. We deserve to have a better life in the U.S.
We deserve is an interesting feeling from those asking for help. Allie, thank you. Incredible reporting. Keep it up. When the caravan reaches the U.S.-Mexico border, before they get to the United States, this is what they're going to encounter. Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.